Welcome to NACTV Reads the News. My name is Linda Dick. I'm one of the many volunteers that help create programming for our station. NACTV can be seen on MTS Channel 30 or 1030, Westman Cable Channel 17, Bell Satellite Channel 592, or online at nactv.tv. These programs are made possible by our volunteers, staff, advertisers, as well as donations made by you, the viewers. If you are enjoying your NACTV experience, please consider supporting us by either donation or volunteering. You can contact our office at 204-476-2639 or at NACTV at wcgwave.ca. And today's paper is dated Friday, November 25th, 2022. Front page, top story on the Neepawa Banner and Press, an excellent opportunity for the Yellowhead Centre. This is submitted by Casper Wareham. Neepawa's Town Council shared some exciting news at its last meeting held November 8th. Presented by Chief Administrative Officer Colleen Sinchishan, a letter was read stating a joint application by the town, municipalities of Rosedale, North Cypress Langford, and Glenella Lansdowne for the review of operations for the Yellowhead Community Recreation Centre had been conditionally approved. The application was made through the Province of Manitoba's 22-23 Service Delivery Improvement Program. To be clear, the town of Neepawa is not going to be heavily involved in this. We were the conduit for it to happen, as the application had to be filed by the municipality, Sinchishan explained. We were very happy to file the application on behalf of the Yellowhead Board, and we'll make sure we keep the pieces and the players all together to see that the results and recommendations will be. This was exciting news because there's only been 2 intakes for this particular program. An application in partnership between the previous Yellowhead Board and the town of Neepawa had been filed last year, but was not approved during the first year. The idea of the program's audit is to locate, with the help of the provided consultant, any efficiencies, opportunities that may be present for the Yellowhead to increase their revenue and be more sustainable, and identify any expenditures that may be bleeding. The consultant assigned to the Yellowhead Board for the Centre's review is Deloitte & Touche, LLP. A statement of work is to be drafted jointly between the municipalities and Deloitte & Touche, then submitted by December 2nd for review before moving forward. Wayne Jacobson, Yellowhead Centre Board Chair, spoke to the Banner and Press on November 22nd, sharing his own approval of this development. I think it's an excellent opportunity for the Yellowhead Centre. With different management teams, the board structure over the years, it's kind of difficult to maintain a consistent game plan over a number of years, Jacobson expressed. This audit will give us the opportunity to look at the things that A, generate us revenue, and B, the usage of the facility. He added, the fact that the provincial government is sponsoring it and we have the partnership with the town of Neepawa and the 3 RMs, it's an excellent opportunity to take a look at operations. And by Owen Devereaux, Neepawa's doctor calls it a career. Retirement party was held at Arts Forward to honor Dr. George Ong. Friends, patients, and colleagues all gathered at Arts Forward in Neepawa on Friday, November 18th to show their respect for the career and legacy of Dr. George Ong. After over 50 years in medicine, Dr. Ong officially retired his practice earlier this month. A come-and-go event at Arts Forward was organized to allow people to come down and congratulate Dr. Ong on his long-tenured and well-regarded medical career. The evening's festivities were very well attended, with a steady stream of people in attendance. The Banner and Press was able to get a few moments with Dr. Ong in between the well-wishers. He noted that he was quite honored and humbled by the response from the community. "I appreciate people, showing appreciation for what I've done over the years. I think I've had a good professional life here. I enjoyed what I have done all those years. I'm not missing it right now," Dr. Ong expressed with a good-natured laugh. "It's only been 3 weeks, but I don't think I'll miss it. I've been able to achieve most of the things I wanted to achieve. I'm proud of what I've done, especially regarding the Beautiful Plains Community Medical Clinic. Having been able to be a part of building that up is one of the things I look back on fondly." Over the years, Dr. Ong has been a vocal advocate for improved health care, not only for Neepawa, but the entire region. He has also put actions behind his words, doing everything possible to aid in the ongoing progress and expansion of the medical clinic. "My philosophy in helping to keep this place going was, everybody has to work together, and I think that'll be my biggest achievement. Really, it's to get the community involved, the doctors involved, and together working with the health region," stated Dr. Ong. "It wasn't easy sometimes, but I always had this vision of what to do." As for the future of medical services in Neepawa, Dr. Ong remains hopeful that the next generation of physicians will take what he and others started and continue to make progress. "It's time for me to hand over to the younger physicians, and I think we have a fantastic group of doctors here," Dr. Ong said. "Build it and they will come, and I think we've done that for the clinic, and I think the hospital will do that for the community." Well done, Dr. Ong. Neepawa farmers are starting to find ways to win. Submitted by Owen Devereaux. The Neepawa farmers are starting to find their stride, winning a pair of games over the weekend. After a rough 0-4-4 start to the Tiger Hills Hockey League, the farmers bounced back with an 8-5 win in Wawanesa on Friday, November 18th. Garrett Rempel scored twice for Neepawa, while the other goals were collected by Lennon Carr, Corbin Mariash, Benoit Mowbray, Brad Marshall, and Ben Renka. Goaltender Reese Jones won his first game of the season, making an impressive 48 saves. Neepawa followed up a few days later with a 12-9 win over the Hartney Blues. Brad Marshall and Reagan Buchanan had huge games, each picking up 6 points. Marshall had 3 goals and 3 assists, while Buchanan tallied a goal with 5 assists. Other multi-point players for the Farmers included Garrett Rempel, Kyle McDonald, Benoit Mowbray, Braden Gillies, Zach Hicks, and Brian Todoric. Lennon Carr also had 1 goal for Neepawa. Elsewhere around the Tiger Hills Hockey League, the Minnedosa Bombers went 1-1 over the weekend, beating McGregor 5-3, but falling to Killarney 3-2. A little further east, Gladstone Lakers picked up a pair of weekend wins. First, they bested Rivers 7-4, and then they defeated Cartwright 10-3. The Carberry Plainsmen were 1-1, losing to Minneota Elkhorn 8-1, before bouncing back to beat the Pilot Mound 5-4 in overtime. Best Western Plus begins building construction at Neepawa, submitted by Ken Waddell. The long-awaited news about the new Best Western Plus hotel at Neepawa is that construction has started. According to spokesman Marvin Beaumont, earthwork and site preparation has begun. On the east side of the lot, topsoil has been piled up and work on the parking lot area is being done. The future parking lot will be the construction center. Construction will start in the spring of 2023 and completion being aimed for spring 2024. The hotel will be like most other Best Western Plus facilities and will have 67 rooms. First drawings have been submitted to Best Western, and final drawings are expected to be ready by mid-February. The hotel will not have restaurant as such, but will have a complimentary breakfast room for their guests. A convention center is planned for Phase 2. 12 Days of Christmas in Gladstone. This is submitted by the Parent Advisory Council. Gladstone is a small, quaint community located along Highway 16, known for its happy rock and community spirit. Gladstone Elementary School is home to just under 150 students and an amazingly committed staff. The Parent Council Committee is the liaison between parents and the school and is the main fundraising body to afford the students activities, playground equipment, extra books, and additional field trips. The Parent Advisory Council relies wholly on volunteers. The pandemic created many obstacles for hosting fundraising events and greatly reduced our volunteer base. We had to get creative, and in doing so, realized that the local businesses were struggling to get folks through the door also. The PAC came up with a way to collaborate with businesses to encourage regional shopping and assist businesses with a matched donation. Every dollar value donated by our local employers is matched by the Parent Advisory Council. We sell tickets for $10 each and host 12 online draws for various local prizes. It is called the 12 Days of Christmas in Gladstone. This is a great way to bring people into our local economy, fundraise for our Gladstone Elementary School, and allow for people to shop at their own convenience. This holiday season and every day, remember to support your local Parent Advisory Council fundraisers. Shop local and get out to volunteer. And don't forget, folks, this Saturday is Arts Forward Glorious Christmas Wish Sale at the Yellowhead Hall, 175 Mountain Avenue in Neepawa. It's on Saturday, November 26th from 10 to 3 p.m. Families coming for Santa pictures will get in free. There's a $3 admission for adults, children 12 and under free. So come out to the Glorious Christmas Wish Sale this Saturday. And at the Roxy Theatre on November 26th, matinee at 2 p.m., we have Emily the Little Match Girl, and it's free admission, sponsored by Kinley Thompson. Neepawa Collegiate Institute's major production, Disney's The Little Mermaid, will be at the Roxy Theatre on December 8th, 9th, and 10th. Tickets available at Arts Forward. Now submitted by Owen Devereaux, Midnight Renegade make the chart debut. A Neepawa Minnedosa band cracked the top 100 country chart. Every act trying to break through into the music industry remembers their first opportunity on the big stage. For Midnight Renegade, That breakthrough might be happening as we speak. Fresh off the heels of being nominated for a Manitoba Country Music Association Award, the modern country group, who have roots in Neepawa, has started to see some chart success. The group's first single, Mears, recently debuted on the Canadian Indie Country Music Countdown. The countdown is a national music chart that is voted on every week by the fans. After debuting at number 98 on the Hot 100 list on November 13th, the track has moved up 6 spots to number 92 this week. Midnight Renegade is composed of Mitchell Buckars of Minnedosa and Jeff Descender of Neepawa. As well as being a musician, Descender is also the founder and CEO of Frozen Fire Studios, based out of Neepawa. For the song Mears, fellow Manitoba artists Robert Andreas and Huey McLaughlin contributed to the finished project. Earlier this week, Descender noted to the Banner and Press that the group has been in existence for a little less than a year. So, this early recognition, both on the charts and with the MCMA, is quite humbling. We are so unbelievably happy with how much support and love we have from our fans, and that they are loving our music, said Descender. In regard to our Manitoba Country Music Association nomination, we were humbled and ecstatic just to be there with some of Manitoba's biggest country artists in the same room. With events like these, you could network and end up with an endless variety of opportunities, from co-writes to relationships with industry professionals. People can vote for certain songs on the Canadian Indie Country Music Countdown by emailing ciccweeklypoll@outlook.com with the artist name and song title. Voting begins every Friday at 6 p.m. and it runs till Saturday at midnight. Right in the Center by Ken Waddell, Closing the Gaps in Public Policy. I'm not sure if we'll have room this week for a column from John Felstad about the big international climate conference. Seems that Canada sent over 300 delegates. These conferences have been going on for decades now and don't appear to be making much progress. John's column explains how the goals of the conferences are based on some pretty shaky premises, and agreement isn't happening anytime soon. Perhaps the problem is similar to a lot of issues, where governments set out to solve problems, but often get bogged down. One such area is mental health. Years ago, Western Manitoba area had a mental health hospital. Most people called it the North Hill, and the buildings are still there. It accommodated a lot of people, and it was held in both high regard and at the same time disdain. Believe what you wish, but many people believed that for the times it served the needs of people who needed a safe place to be in times of mental and emotional crisis. In the wisdom of the government of the day, it was decided to close the facility. In terms of bed numbers, it has never been replaced. Certainly there are smaller centers around the province, but nowhere near the capacity of the North Hill. The prevailing wisdom behind the closure was summarized by the phrase, "The communities will handle the needs." That, of course, is nonsense for the most part. It may apply in some cases, but in many instances, neither families nor a community can meet the needs of a person suffering from mental illness. Whether it be depression, bipolar, violent behavior, or a host of other afflictions, it is too much for the community to handle. In spite of the best efforts of treatment centers, I was made aware of some real gaps in the system. A person who is in a mental health center may become much healthier, but once out in the community, they may relapse. If they run amok of the law and end up in jail, I've been told the government doesn't share files between the health center and the jail. That seems like a big gap to me that hampers caring and efficient treatment. I've been told that people can be released from jail or a treatment center at any time of the day or night and without proper arrangements for a caregiver or family member to be there. That has led to some very real problems. There are similar gaps in other government agencies. I know from personal experience in helping a person with their housing needs that agencies don't always play nice together. If you need housing in a Manitoba housing home or apartment block and have to do so with social assistance, you may be dealing with Manitoba Housing Association in one government region and with social assistance in another. All the while, the individual may not know who to phone and may not have the means to drive around chasing the bureaucracy. Also, if a person is displaced and therefore doesn't have a fixed address, they can't easily get social assistance. That makes no sense. I would be interested in knowing if readers have stories that may shed more light on how disjointed government agencies can really be. My aim isn't to beat up on hardworking staff or politicians, but to make for an open discussion on how things could be improved. The system is usually well-intentioned, but when gaps and outright silliness in provision of service happen, lives are at stake. Suffering and deaths don't serve any of us well, so let's close the gaps and in so doing, help bring healing to our people. And from Rita Friesen, I'll read Homebodies. Brighten the darkness. It was just the reminder that I needed, a posting on social media that spoke to the call and purpose of the winter slowing. Slowing down because of less sunlit hours. Slowing down because of less easy-to-do cold weather activities. Slowing down simply to breathe. I teach preparedness for the time of incubation. The seeds settled in the dark earth, waiting for warmth and light to grow. That seed never questioning, or the stages of a butterfly that time in a cocoon required for full development. I needed to be reminded to hunker down with me, to pause, to listen to the spirit within. I have been too occupied with calculating the diminishing daylight hours. As dark as it is now, is as dark as it will be in the end of January, to relax and be fully aware of the here and now. Oh, I still am walking and watching nature and all creation. I am still doing all that is required of me, and I am still glorying in family and faith. I've been counting the days to the solstice and mourning the loss of sunlight. It is a season, simply a season. One that I have experienced for more than 3/4 of a century. The longing for sunlight has become consumptive, and for me, a dominating thought. So like a seed, like the butterfly in the cocoon stage, or a bear in hibernation, may I simply rest, be restored, renewed, repurposed. Along the awareness of my longing, I have been listening to what others say, to what I am reading, and to my spiritual guide. A conversation with a trusted friend this week gave me food for thought. We were speaking of folks we know who always have a positive comment to offer, personal or general. Some of those we know and care for are no longer with us, but their words of encouragement and thanksgiving still surround us. The question put to me was, did they know they had limited time and needed to express their gratitude? Walking home from this conversation, I wondered if perhaps they needed to hear others express such emotions, gratitude and thanksgiving to them. Were we being offered that which they craved? I thought doubly hard on this question, for I try to offer words of encouragement to others, even complete strangers. Classic. Serving coffee to a crowd, I noted one person who talked with calmness and presence, unaware of the looks of appreciation cast in their direction, perfectly groomed, coiffed, and composed. As I filled their cup, I quietly asked, "Do you know that you are drop-dead gorgeous?" The light in their eyes magnified and the laughter bubbled. Did I need to say that? Yes, in that moment, at that moment, I did. And now I wonder, did I say that because I longed to hear it? I hope to heck not. We do need to offer others reassurance and appreciation for who they are, and sometimes for what they do. Darkening days allow the candlelight, the flickering starlight, to be more appreciated. May our lights, dim though they may appear to us, brighten the darkness. And in the thumbs up, thumbs down column, we have a thumbs up, a huge thumbs up to Ken Kinley, Nick Beavington, and Louis Robideau for taking the initiative and their rakes and shovels to clear away all the fallen leaves and debris along the curbs in downtown Gladstone. Also to Eileen Peters for her ongoing maintenance of the flower beds at our cenotaph. All volunteer efforts are very much appreciated. Bravo. Submitted by Linda Crooks. A huge big thumbs up to Cliff Friesen and his friends for helping our family get back to Neepawa when the car went into the ditch near the Bernie Corner last Friday night because of the terrible weather conditions. That ride to Neepawa is greatly appreciated. Thank you again very much for helping us girls. Fern Novak and Michelle and Brooke Shimarika. And a great big thumbs up to Andrew Summers for pulling our car out of the steep ditch near the Bernie Corner with his tractor on Saturday morning. You came along at the perfect time because we had been waiting for 2 hours for CAA to come along with their tow truck. Thank you, Andrew. We are indebted to you because you took the time and effort to do this while you were busy feeding your livestock. And that was submitted by Larry Novak. Santa Day Sale donates $350 to the Minnedosa Food Bank, and this is submitted by Casper Wareham. Gold Leaf Events had quite the turnout for their Santa Day craft sale in Minnedosa on November 12th. Co-owners Krista Powell and Lisa Buchanan, who organized the event, reported that a total of 500 shoppers were in attendance. Everyone had a range of 32 different vendors to browse through. The majority of the vendors are handmade, and we love seeing all the amazing and talented makers that are in the area, said Buchanan. We had a variety of vendors from Christmas baking, decor, soaps, signs, crocheted and knitted items, pet treats, jewelry, books, arts, and more. Sharing a final comment, Buchanan extended thanks on behalf of Gold Leaf to all who attended as either vendors or shoppers, stating, "We love putting on events on our community and couldn't do it without everyone." Also submitted by Casper Wareham. We hope to bring a unique store to Neepawa. The Critchlow family are soon to open Hidden Hollow Toy Store, and they offer new options to the area. Neepawa will soon welcome a brand new store to its downtown. Cozily tucked in at 266 Davidson Street, the former location of Gillies Entertainment Media, Hidden Hollow, a kids store and more, has progressively been making its home. Co-owners Daryl and Belinda Critchlow, along with the help of friends and family, have been working to transform the space and give it new life. The store will be home to a large selection of kids and family games, puzzles, toys, books, craft kits, a couple of unique candy brands, and more. We'll also be adding a couple of Canadian companies who specialize in Indigenous art, in glassware, puzzles, journals, and soapstone carving kits that we're excited to offer to Neepawa and area, Daryl shared. Once we have the basement ready, we will also continue to offer the collectibles that Alan had available as part of the Gillies Entertainment Media Store, such as comics, vinyls, and posters, along with a few other items. Belinda added, "We hope to bring a unique store to Neepawa that would provide a variety of kids' items and offer some different options that aren't already in the area." We are pretty excited with several of the brands that are offering us their lines, and we think the community will be too. There are a few factors that drew the Critchlows to the space, one being its location and another the layout of the interior. These were items that Daryl and Belinda felt they could lean into for this concept. This is such a wonderful little building, situated right off of Mountain Avenue and beside the library and the nursery school. It has so many little spaces inside and nooks and crannies almost everywhere you look, Belinda enthused. We hope to take advantage of those spaces and offer families the opportunity to play some of the games or watch the how-to videos on some of the products we will offer. That will be down the road a bit, but in the works for sure. Daryl added, "We took a couple of weekends discussing some names. We felt we wanted something more whimsical for the kids. And with the store around the corner of the town's main street and somewhat hidden or not really noticeable when you go past, we thought a spin on the word hidden would work really well. We have left off all capital letters so that it does feel more relaxed and easygoing." According to the Critchlows, Stage 1 of the business renovations were completed on November 20th. With this stage, the inside has been repainted and all of the flooring on the upstairs level redone. Additionally, a concept for Hidden Hollow's logo has been completed with a reveal planned in the near future. Working with two very talented local individuals, Stage 2 will take place over the Christmas holidays, bringing a surprise addition to our Hidden Hollow, said Daryl. Our final stage will get underway in the summer and will include the exterior portion of the building, thus completing the transformation of Hidden Hollow. While there is more work to be done in the future, the Critchlows are, as of November 22nd, tentatively anticipating the opportunity to greet the community this month, right in time for the holiday season. Our hopes are that the majority of the pieces will come together to open for November 26th, in time for the parade that's set for that day, said Belinda. It won't include all the brands we have coming in. However, we hope most everything is in by the first week of December. We'll keep everyone updated by way of social media when new orders come in, so people can always make a second or third trip in to see what's new. Sharing their final thoughts, the Critchlows wish to extend their thanks, stating, We'd like to thank Darlene and Neil Gillies. We're very fortunate to be stepping into a building that has been very well maintained and cared for by the Gillies family. The pair added, "We are very thankful for this opportunity to offer a unique store to Neepawa area, and we look forward to being part of the business community once again. We are excited to see some familiar faces, as well as welcoming new guests to explore what Hidden Hollow has to offer." Well, congratulations, Daryl and Belinda. Wish you all the best and look forward to seeing what's inside. And here's the page, Shop Neepawa Hometown. And don't forget to enter the contest, $5,600 in prizes. And the draw will take place Monday, December 12th. There's prizes of $1,500, $1,000, $500, plus $2,600 in extra prizes. And these are submitted, or these are sponsored by all of these people right here in your paper, all of these businesses. Shop Hometown is jointly sponsored by the Neepawa Chamber of Commerce, the Neepawa Banner and Press, and the local businesses shown on this page. Shop Hometown. And turning to sports by Casper Wareham. Former Westburn resident closes out his 17-year pro bull riding career. The timing for me now is right. A big name has retired from the professional bull riding scene. Zane Lambert of Ponoka, Alberta, formerly Westburn, Manitoba, has officially stepped back from his 17-year Canada career as a professional bull rider. This comes after his final competition, which was held the weekend of Friday, November 11th. That competition marked his 17th consecutive trip to the Professional Bull Riding Canada Finals, with Lambert being the only rider to qualify and compete at every Professional Bull Riding Canada Nationals final in league history. Lambert is also hailed as Canada's all-time qualified rides leader and has won the second most events in Canadian history over the course of his nearly 2 decades of bull riding. He's acquired a variety of titles, such as 2 Canada Champion titles in 2013 and 2017, and 2 Professional Bull Riding Canada National Finals event titles in 2016 and 17. My title win in 2013 was super hard for me, actually, Lambert said in an interview. I was competing against some pretty good athletes there. To get that first one was pretty crazy. With how many times I was the bridesmaid, runner-up in previous years, it really means a lot, he added. Lambert's retirement is linked to a few factors: old injuries from the rough nature of the bull riding sport, time, and family. Lambert got his first look at rodeo and bull riding at a very young age, when his parents drove him from Westburn to Winnipeg for a series of events. Immediately, he was hooked, gathering as many autographs as he possibly could. By the time he was 10, Lambert and his father were going to several youth clinics together. From there, Lambert climbed the youth ranks in Manitoba. The biggest influence someone had on me was probably Cody Custer, Lambert told the paper. I really liked him, and I went to about 3 of his schools. Sometime after Lambert's Canada career began, at the age of 19, he plunged into the inaugural event in Winnipeg and secured a win, for his debut with an 89.5 point ride. Now at age 36, Lambert is looking forward to spending more time with his wife, Stacy, and 2 sons, Everett and Tucker. With Tucker at 10 months old and Everett soon beginning preschool, Lambert feels it is particularly pertinent time to be at home more consistently. It's kind of like the timing for me is right, Lambert noted in his interview, adding that his wife is also ready to go back to work. It's my turn to be making myself available to pick up and drop off the kids at school. Reflecting on his time and prospect for the future, Lambert left the professional bull riding Canada with his final thoughts, stating, "I got to see things from all over the world, and that's a good life lesson. Seeing the different characters of people out there, bad characters and good characters, and it's good to see that. So I think that's my life experience, and I'll just try to pass that on to the kids. I am ready to try to put the right morals in them so they can grow up the right way. I'm looking forward to it." Well, well done. Good for you. And submitted by Owen Devereaux, Titans dominate the Verdun Oil Capitals. The Neepawa Titans seem to have found their scoring touch, reeling off a pair of 7-goal games against the Verdun Oil Capitals over the weekend. The first was an impressive 7-4 win in Verdun on Friday, November 18th. The Titans scored 4 goals in the first period to silence the near-capacity crowd at the Tundra Oil and Gas Centre in Verdun. Parker Corman and Carter McLeod each registered a pair of goals, with Corman also adding 1 assist for good measure. Briley Wood, Connor Thompson, and Braden McCalchuk all scored goals as well, while Hayden Stocks had himself a 3-assist night. Goaltender Gavin Renwick registered his 2nd win of the season since returning from injury, putting together a solid 25-save effort for the Titans. Neepawa then returned home to the Yellowhead Centre on Saturday, November 19th for another matchup with Verdun. This night was an even better result for the Titans, as they once again scored 7, but this time gave up not a single goal to their opponents, winning 7-0. Mason Lowbro picked up the shutout, his first in the MJHL. After the game, Lowbray told the Banner and press that his teammates' effort in front of him made the 23-save effort relatively easy for him. Good for you. The boys tonight made it pretty easy on me. They limited the good chances that Verdun had, and I felt good out there. Just stayed cool out there as the game winded down. Was seeing the puck clearly and felt pretty good. As for the goal scorers, for the surging Titans, Briley Wood scored twice. Awen Poirier, Hayden Stocks, Connor Thompson, Carter McLeod, and Braden McCalchuk each added 1. Stocks also had 3 assists to his credit on the evening. With these latest victories, Neepawa had won 4 of the last 5 games, going 4-0-1 in that span. Titans head coach and general manager Ken Pearson said the team seemed to have really figured things out on the ice as of late. Early in the year, we were hurt. We had a fair amount of injuries, and that impacted the chemistry. Now we're healthy, and we've added a few new additions to the roster, and that's made a difference. The addition of Briley Wood has been huge for us, and the guys are just following along with him. Pearson was also impressed with the team's effort on the power play. Over the course of the 2 games, the Titans went 9 for 18 with the advantage, including an amazing 6 goals in their 7-0 decision on Saturday. Pearson credits assistant coach Zach Hicks for a few changes in practice, and it made a difference. Zach has done a great job of getting these guys on the same page and finding success, Pearson stated. With these recent results, Neepawa remains in contention for playoffs, as they are just 3 points back of the fourth place Wawasikapo Wolverines. Those two clubs play one another on Tuesday, November 22nd. Details on that game, as well as the back-to-back weekend games versus Dauphin Kings, will be in the next edition of the Banner and Press. And turning to the Neepawa Tigers. Neepawa Tigers are volleyball champs. The JV girls team wins AAA Zone 7 championship. Owen Devereaux submitted this article. Perhaps it was home court advantage that propelled the Neepawa Area Collegiate Institute Tigers junior varsity girls volleyball team to win the AAA Zone 7 championship this season. Or perhaps the most obvious answer in this case is the correct one. Neepawa was simply too much for anyone to handle when the pressure was at its peak. Either way, NACI Gymnasium was rocking on Monday, November 21st for the 4-team zone playoff, which also featured Neepawa, McGregor, Minnedosa, and Carberry. In the first semifinal matchup, NACI Tigers made quick work of the Minnedosa Chancellors, winning in 2 straight sets by the score of 25-16 and 25-8. For the other semifinal, the McGregor Mustangs bested the Carberry Cougars 25-19 and 25-17. This set up a championship showdown between the two best squads throughout the regular season. After winning the first set 25-22, the Tigers mounted a comeback in the second set to ultimately claim the championship. After trailing by as many as 6 points, NACI were able to claw back into the game, overtaking McGregor late to win 25-22. This is the first time Neepawa has won the junior varsity championship since 2019. NACI head coach Jalen Adams, along with assistant coach Michaela, said they were proud of the effort the team displayed, not just in the playoffs, but throughout the entire season. They added that they had no doubt that falling behind early in the second set would not faze them, and that they'd simply focus on the climbing back into it 1 point at a time. The Neepawa Tigers JV boys participated in the Zone 7 championships in McGregor on Monday, November 21st. The Tigers were defeated in the semifinal by the William Morton Warriors in 3 sets, 25-21, 23-25, and 14-16. In the final, the undefeated McGregor Mustangs remained perfect, beating the Warriors 25-18 and 25-16. And the week of February 8th to the 12th, 2023, Neepawa will be hosting the Viterra Men's Provincial Curling Championship. Tickets will be on sale December 1st, 2022, and early bird week pass will be $125. A week pass, $150, purchased after January 1st. So, get your tickets to the Neepawa Viterra Provincial Curling Championship, February 8th to the 12th at the Yellowhead Centre in Neepawa. Now I'd like to show you the online auction which will be taking place. It's the Neepawa Rotary Club major fundraiser online auction happening December 2nd to the 8th. So pick yourself up a copy of the Neepawa banner November 25th, and you will see all the items and the donors, the retail value. As we know, the Neepawa Rotary Club is a wonderful organization, and all the proceeds go towards community projects. Bidding will start 8 a.m. on Friday, December 2nd. So online auction, get your copy of the banner, and on page A15, you will see all the list of items for the major fundraiser of the Neepawa Rotary Club. And turning to obituaries, we have an obituary for Reginald Leonard Grudeski. Reg has gone to join Dad, Leonard Grudeski, and is survived by his mom, Ellen Grudeski, and 5 older sisters, Hertha McLean, Debbie Rogers, Lorna Marr, Shelley Fiarchuk, and Sandy Boyer. He also leaves behind a gaggle of nephews, nieces, great-nephews, great-nieces, and a whole hard extended family and a flock of friends. Reg embraced the country life and lived in the Kelwood Riding Mountain area for most of his life. He worked at the same location for over 30 years, currently known as Stella Jones. His love for playing sports may have been surpassed only by his love for playing cards, mainly cribbage. Those who had the privilege to live, work, or play with Reg will miss him dearly, and we are forever grateful he was part of our lives. Donations may be made to the Kelwood Legion in Reg's honor. And with heavy hearts, we announce the passing of Ralph Richard Jackson of Neepawa, Manitoba, on October 31st, 2022, at the Neepawa Health Centre. Ralph was born on Minnedosa Hospital on October 1st, 1941, to parents Albert, and Mabel. Ralph was the eldest son, followed by brothers Glenn, Alvin, and sister Rita. Ralph took his schooling at Glenbury School, later taking a welding course at Assiniboine College, allowed him to obtain work in construction, and he was a welder at Morris Red Weeder in Minnedosa, along with his small farm. Before retiring, he worked at Neepawa Food Processors for many years, becoming a supervisor at the plant. As a young man, Ralph loved to curl, later becoming a spectator. He loved his John Deere tractors and bulldozers. As his movement became restricted, he still enjoyed a cup of coffee with his friends and scratch ticket lottery. In June 1965, Ralph married his MTS operator sweetheart that lasted 57 years. Jean Nagel was her name, and they had 2 daughters. He was predeceased by Dad, Mother, and sister Rita. Surviving is his wife Jean, 2 daughters, Valerie and Sherry Ann, grandchild Richard, great-grandchild Cheyenne and Clayton. Also surviving are 2 brothers, Glenn Jackson and Alvin Jackson, brother-in-law Don Sawyer, 1 sister Shirley, and many nieces, nephews, and cousins. Funeral service was held November 4th from White's Funeral Home, with Reverend Beth McDonald officiating. Pallbearers were Bruce Bremner, Lyle Bremner, Sean Bremner, Bart Pearson, Adam Kipe, Justin Pastershank. Honorary pallbearers were everyone in attendance. If friends so desire, memorial donations may be made to the Manitoba Lung Association or your charity of choice. Rest in peace, Ralph. Working beside Megan inspires us to think bigger. Gold Leaf Boutique moves in with Boho Soul Market. This article by Casper Wareham. Gold Leaf Boutique of Minnedosa has found a brand new home. Co-owners Lisa Buchanan and Krista Powell have partnered with Megan Swift of Boho Soul to share a business space. Longtime friends of Swift, Buchanan and Powell told the Banner Press that this combination felt like a natural fit. We felt that our businesses would complement well with each other. We've watched Megan build her business for a while now. She's worked hard, and working beside her definitely inspires us to think bigger and keep going. As a new business opening up after a global pandemic, finding ways to lower expenses is always in the back of our minds, and felt that would help with the future success of our store. With all new businesses, we're experiencing the growing pains and learning many things as we go. We also love the space. It's bright and cheerful with big windows, and of course, having a coffee shop inside the boutique is a big added bonus. The moving of Gold Leaf Boutique to 66 Main Street South includes all Gold Leaf events, services, as well as Buchanan's photography business, 88 North Photography. Buchanan will continue to take appointments in the new space outside of regular business hours, but also does photos for events and weddings. Canine customer services will also remain, but must be conducted outdoors. We absolutely love our new space, Powell enthused. We love having a cafe with baked goods and daily homemade soups in the boutique. Swift shared her own anticipation, stating, "I'm excited for this partnership, and I can see it only being beneficial to both Boho Soul and Gold Leaf." Gold Leaf Boutique is now open 7 days per week alongside Boho Soul and is planning a grand opening weekend for December 3rd and 4th. The opening event is leaning right into the festive season with sales, festive beverages, and more. We're hoping to help make people's Christmas shopping just a little bit easier, said Buchanan. We'll be offering a wish list for people to come in and mark down anything they want in the boutique, and then spouses and family members can come in and shop from the list. In the pair's final comments, Powell also hinted that a kids' shopping day is planned for December 17th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We'll help the kids shop on a budget, while adults can sit in the cafe and enjoy a festive drink, Powell elaborated. And we'll be offering free Christmas wrapping, so kids will leave with their gifts all ready to put under the tree. And on the back page, sponsored by High Life, we have a dedicated High Life employee who reached a 45-year milestone. I would have never thought that I would have gotten to 45 years. I've been thinking about that many times over. I've accomplished a lot, I guess. Marcel Bremode, driver for High Life. Our people are our greatest asset, both at High Life and in our communities. Every year we take a moment to acknowledge those that have been with us for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and beyond. In 2022, more than 400 employees reached a significant anniversary with our company. Although High Life was founded in 1994, in the decades prior, our founders worked hard to set the foundation and build what we know High Life to be today. For the first time in High Life's history, we have an employee that has reached 45 years of service. Marcel Bremode started on April 17, 1977, as a swine technician and field tractor operator in rural Manitoba. Known mostly affectionately as Bugs, a lifelong nickname, Marcel tries to recall his first moments on the job. I kind of remember I had never worked with pigs before. I was used to animals, so it didn't take very long to catch on. Over the years, Bugs has worn many hats, including swine technician and tractor operator, before taking on the role of miller in 1981 at High Life's feed mill. In 1994, Bugs hit the road and became a full-time feed truck driver. He passionately worked as a truck driver through the company's progress into the 2000s, 2010s, with a few short stints as a rancher and tractor operator in between. The growth of the company was good for employment. It was good for the community. Many of our communities would be a lot smaller if it wasn't for the growth. Today, Marcel is still driving and doesn't think he's going to be done anytime soon. Retiring? I haven't really thought of it, because after that, what do I do? When asked if he's going to try and work towards 50 years here, this is what he has to say. Maybe I should try, actually. Maybe I should go to April 16, 2027, and then retire. I've thought of it. Either way, High Life could not be prouder of Marcel's lifelong commitment and dedication to High Life. Congratulations on 45 years of service. And I am going to, seeing we're in deer hunting season right now, I'm going to finish with an article by Helen Drysdale, Out of Helen's Kitchen, Venison. Venison, which comes from the Latin venare, meaning to hunt, contains no growth hormones, no antibiotics, is high in protein, packed with vitamins and minerals, and is raised locally. Venison has an earthy, rich flavor, owing to a deer's diet of grasses, leaves, twigs, berries, and fruit. Venison is an extremely lean meat, with the fat being on the outside of the meat. That external fat should be removed, as it may contain a gamey flavor. Deer meat, which does not have the internal marbling that cattle do, needs to be cooked differently from beef. People cook some parts of the deer too long, drying it out, and some parts too little, making it tough. Here are some venison cooking 101 tips for the venison hunter. Since venison is low in fat, it should be cooked on the rare side or low and slow and really well done. Cook the tender parts of the venison, such as the deer chops, backstrap, and steaks quickly and on the rare side. They will otherwise become dry and tough. Venison, when cooked on the grill, can stick to the grill, so brush the meat lightly with oil before cooking. Hind leg roasts can be roasted hot and fast and just cooked to medium rare. Otherwise, it will be dry. Remove the venison from the fridge and leave out for at least 30 minutes to let the meat reach room temperature. Preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. You can pat the venison with vegetable oil or rub butter on it, or add slices of bacon or side pork on the top. If you desire, season the roast with pepper and a blend of seasonings. Many people use salt with their seasoning, but I never do because I find it draws the juices out of the roast. Cook the roast at that high temperature for 20 minutes. Then reduce the heat to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and cook until a meat thermometer reads 125 degrees Fahrenheit for rare, 130 degrees for medium rare. The cooking time will depend on the size of the roast. The meat will keep cooking after it's removed, so cover it with a piece of tin foil and let it rest for 15 minutes. If you are not a fan of rare roast, then cook them low and slow with moisture as you would do for the shoulder roasts, ribs, or shanks. They can be braised first, like a pot roast, and cooked in a Dutch oven, or use the slow cooker or a low oven temperature. Just remember low and slow with moisture until it falls apart tender. And Helen has 2 recipes that you can see in this paper. Can peruse through. They're the Hungarian venison pot roast and venison meatballs with mushroom wine gravy. The Neepawa and District Palliative Care Program light up the holiday season. You can contribute $5 in memory of a loved one. As you contribute, your memorial can be viewed in the window of Harris Pharmacy. The memory tree will be located at Mountain Avenue and Davidson Street, downtown Neepawa. Drop off your contribution at one of these Neepawa locations: the Neepawa Hospital, It's Time Fashion and Gifts, the Neepawa Banner and Press, Home Hardware, Neepawa Pharmacy, or Harris Pharmacy. Quentin Blair's Boogie Woogie Christmas on December 1st. This is submitted by Kaleidoscope. Quentin Blair has shared the stage with countless Canadian and American country acts and has performed his brand of troubadour storytelling country that carries heavy undertones both of 70s outlaw country and 90s dancehall country flavor. Wrangling horses is in his blood and has been part of the Blair family for generations. Manitoba's own Quentin Blair may spend his days on a tractor, and he may be driven like the drifting prairie snow, but this 7-time Manitoba Country Music Association Award winner is a road-running, tail-spinning songwriter. Quentin Blair's Boogie Woogie Honky Tonk Christmas is at the Legion Hall at 7:30 p.m. on December 1st, 2022, and there's a cash bar available. Doors open at 7 p.m. And at Calvary Chapel on Thursday, December 1st, Laughing All the Way, Christmas comedy and carols experience for the whole family. Tickets are $20, and it's go to christmaslaughs.today or call James at 431-351-0497. And okay, just going to quickly show you. There's a little addition to the paper, and it's on Farmers Advocate. There's articles on Manitoba pork. Manitoba cattle producers support grassland stewardship program. There's also an article written by Ken Kingdon, Moments in Riding Mountain, the Winter 2022 Hangover. Investing in our team, High Life Masters Group, a true success. Written by Sarah Plosker from the Farmer's Advocate, A Squeal on Pigs, and by Sean Kabak. Manitoba will allow flexibility in use of federally approved lawn care pesticides. So, just a few articles that you can look through in the Farmer's Advocate. It's a B section edition of the Friday, November 25th, Neepawa Banner and Press. And that's it for this week's Neepawa Banner and Press. So I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.